Hey there, it's Linda again. Today is day 7, chapter 7 of on the Passion of Christ according to the four evangelists. And this chapter is on Jesus before Ananias the high priest. And, it goes into, it's a very short chapter. Again, it's literally 2 pages and not even a full 2 pages. It talks about when Jesus was brought before Ananias and he's asking Jesus questions, and Jesus is very humble and obedient and answering the questions, but obviously Ananias is not happy with the answers that Jesus is giving, even though Jesus is telling him the truth, and he strikes him. He has him stricken on his face. He's receiving blows as he's being asked these questions. And at one point, the Lord says to him, "If I have spoken evil, give testimony of that evil. But if well, why then do you strike me?" In a calm and just a simple way, the Lord is responding to this venomous hatred that is being spewed against him. This book is really getting serious. It is, I didn't expect this, I think, because it's really making me think. And, and then there's a section in here that says, "You who are one of Christ's followers, reflect and ask yourself whether for the love of God you're able to endure such a slap on the cheek. You who are unable to endure harsh criticism without yielding to anger, how can you bear such a blow in the face?" Because it speaks to our humanity. It speaks to the way that many of us in this world react when we're harshly judged, when we're told lies about, when people are speaking to us in a way that is demeaning or demanding, how we can react, where anger can flare up. And yet all of those things and worse, so much worse, were happening to Jesus. And yet his demeanor never changed. He was humble and obedient and calm. And he exercised incredible patience. It says, "You set great goals for yourself and let your thoughts float on high. But at the first words of reproach that you hear, you become terribly disturbed and discover that you are weaker than you first thought. Therefore, go to Jesus and plead more earnestly with him for the virtue of patience." That strikes me right between the eyes. Because doesn't my dander get up? Or my gander or dander or whatever it is called get up when somebody says something that is totally out of line, inappropriate, and is not true. I can immediately go to that place where I want to shut up. I want to start sending out the bullets from my words. And thanks be to God, I have most times I hold that back. But inside, I'm going bananas. And but Jesus is telling us, don't go bananas. Don't go bananas inside. Deal with everything in a patient and humble way. The last paragraph, the whole thing is really very powerful. But it says, "When I am in the presence of my enemies, put the apt and right words on my lips. And when the hand of the wicked is raised against me, kind Jesus, let a humble, calm, and constant mind be my invulnerable shield." I'm going to repeat that because I need to write that down and repeat that to myself. When I'm in the presence of my enemies, put the apt and right words on my lips. And when the hand of the wicked is raised against me, kind Jesus, let a humble, calm, and constant mind be my invulnerable shield. An invulnerable shield. It's just another reminder to go to him, to put the focus on Jesus, to look to him for the way that we are, that I can only speak about myself, that I should respond to things when they come against me, to lies and to falsehoods and to slander and to things, because all of those things have happened in my life. You know, sometimes you're the butt of an awful joke. It's just, and sometimes you just want to lash out and give it right back to them. And like Jesus did in a very reverent way, he said, you know, if I'm speaking evil, then point it out. But if not, then why are you coming at me? So it's not about being a doormat, right? It's about being calm and constant in the response. That's what he modeled for us in that it wasn't even a conversation, in that interrogation with Ananias in his passion. So I'm going to mull on this a little bit more. And tomorrow I'm going to chapter 8. Chapter 8 has a couple more pages than it did today. Anyway, my friends, I pray that every opportunity, whether it is a good one or something that isn't so good, is an opportunity to bring you closer, to dive closer into that relationship with the Lord, and to dive into Jesus' Sacred Heart that just burns with love for us. And I also pray that it's an opportunity for self-knowledge and self-understanding and personal growth. I know this definitely, for me, is something that I need to look at in terms of my own personal growth and how I respond to situations. And I pray that everything and all things is an opportunity to walk through the journey with joy. Take friends. Love you guys. Bye.